in one of the more disturbing stories, and it seems like we say this every single day, it can't get any worse, but it does. I am going to grab your baby, don't resist. This is actual audio of California police going into a couple's home and taking their baby from them. Listen. So I'm going to grab your baby and don't resist, don't fight me, okay? I'm going to take your baby, don't resist, and don't fight me. Can you imagine Can you imagine somebody actually saying that to you? I'm going to take your baby, don't resist, and don't fight me, okay?
That's not okay.
Your natural instinct is to fight with everything that you have. You are walking into somebody's home. You're walking into their cave. See, this is where natural rights come in. Natural rights come in when you understand the right to protect yourself and your family. When you understand what natural rights really mean, that we are still part of the natural world. Where, I love people who are like, well, we got to take care of all the animals. We got to take care of all. We're an animal. That's what we are. We're an animal too. We're part of the ecosystem. I don't know if anybody recognizes that, but we're part of this big blue marble. And our natural rights, the natural rights that you have with a bear, the same as the natural rights that you have at home. If somebody comes in and wants to take, even if they want to do good for your little bear cub, your natural response is to fight them. Your natural response is, that is my bear cub. I mean, I hate to go all Mowgli on you, but that's my bear cub. And that you don't take my child away from me, but that's exactly what happened in California. In an amazing story that comes from Sacramento, California, the 5-month-old baby who was seized by authorities in Sacramento, California, going to be transferred to a Bay Area hospital for further medical evaluation. However, the parents are celebrating victory as they can now see their child. They can now see their child whenever they want and will be in charge of the child's medical decisions moving forward. This is one of the most incredible stories I have read. Here's what happened. It's a couple, a Russian couple. How they must love coming here to America. It's a Russian couple that was here, and they were having a problem with their newborn child. And they were in the hospital. And at one point, the nurse comes up and says, I got to give your child some medicine. And the mom says, wait, what are you giving him? And she says, I don't know. I'm just supposed to give him this. What do you mean you don't know what you're giving my child? You're not to give my child any medicine. Well, they find out that it was antibiotics, and the kid wasn't supposed to have antibiotics. So the parents start talking, and they say, this hospital is not a good hospital. I don't trust this hospital. The doctors come in, and they say, we're going to have to perform surgery, heart surgery on your child. They don't trust the hospital. They don't trust the doctor, and they say, no, you're not going to do that to my child. Well, the hospital says, no, you're going to have to do that. And they say, we want a second opinion. We want to go to another hospital. They won't let them do it. The child's too sick. And so the parents take the child and leave, and they go to another hospital. So now they're standing at another hospital with another doctor doing an examination on this child, and the doctor writes out and says, this child is fine, there doesn't need to be any of, no surgery, etc., etc. That's when the police come to the second hospital and say, what are you doing? You couldn't take this child out of the hospital. And they said, no, we brought him to this hospital because we don't trust that one. The police listened to them because the doctor is there saying, no. What the hospital is telling them to do the child is wrong. So they think it's all over. The next day, they're at home with the child, and here comes a knock on the door. And the Department of Child Protective Services and their SWAT team comes in to this person's house, to this family's house. And that's when this officer says, I'm going to take your child, and you're not going to resist. I'm going to take your child. Listen to that one more time. So I'm going to grab your baby. No, you're not going to grab my baby. Now, here's a couple that is from Russia. The father said, I thought I was living in the Soviet Union. This is communism. What is this? That baby is held for 5 months. 5 months by the state. This is a newborn for 5 months away from the mother. Can you imagine what mom was feeling inside for 5 months? Well, finally, after 5 months yesterday, a judge says the baby can go back to the parents, and the parents have control. Well, thank you very much. The one word, the key word here is the last one, control. The parents have control. The state is doing everything they can to convince you that they have control over absolutely everything in your life, even your children. This goes back to Melissa Harris Perry. Melissa Harris Perry, when she was on MSNBC, in a promo, not just something that she said out loud, in a promo, she said, you know, we really haven't spent enough money. We haven't spent enough money. We spend more money than anybody else on children's educations. Well, the problem is that we don't have a collective view of our children. And once we shake off this silly notion that you have some sort of private control of your child, we'll start to make the right decisions. No, that's when we'll start making the wrong decisions. Who cares about my child more, the state or me? Get the hell off my land. Get your hands off my child. You also have Common Core doing the same thing. Well, now the teachers' unions, which don't let them try to con you at all. They knew from the very beginning what this was. But the teachers' unions are now starting to say, oh, well, you know what? I think this might be a bad thing for the teachers. Yeah, you think so? You know why? Because the teachers don't have control of their own classroom. You might as well hire a bunch of monkeys to teach our children, because the teachers, why do you need an education? All you have to do is follow this pattern. You teach this, then you teach that, then you teach this, and you teach it in exactly this way. Well, let's just hire monkeys to teach our kids. Why not? Again, Common Core is about control. Control over the teachers, control over you, control over your children. Yesterday, we played some audio. Do we have the audio of the very frank lesbian who is an author? She comes out and she said, you know what, my whole life, since I came out of the closet, my whole life was not to tell lies, and we're telling lies. And let's just be honest about it. And listen to what she said.
I agree. It's a no-brainer that we should have the right to marry. But I also think equally that it's a no-brainer that the institution of marriage should not exist. So,
and that's when the activists applaud.
That causes my brain some trouble. And part of it, why it causes me trouble, is because fighting for gay marriage generally involves lying about what we're going to do with marriage when we get there. Because we lie that the institution of marriage is not going to change. And that is a lie. The institution of marriage is going to change, and it should change. And again, I don't think it should exist. I don't like taking part in creating fictions about my life. That's sort of not what I had in mind when I came out 30 years ago. I have 3 kids who have 5 parents, more or less. And I don't see why they shouldn't have 5 parents legally. I don't see why we should choose 2 of those parents and make them into a sanctioned couple.
Stop. You have it. You have it. I don't know why we choose 2 parents. We don't choose. The parents choose. I choose my wife chooses me, and we have a child. That's how it works. We choose. No, she didn't understand why the state would choose 2 people. No, the state has nothing to do with it. Get the state out of rearing our children. Get the state out of our families. Get the state out of our marriages. Get the state. They used to say, I don't want the state in my bedroom. I don't want the state in my garage, my bedroom, my kitchen, my living room, my school room. I don't want them on my front yard, my backyard. I will not eat them, Sam I am. What, have we lost our mind? It's all about control. And that's why we are releasing today a new book that we rushed in